Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk for a minute about the rumors that Faile will be introduced as early on as season 2 in the show. And I'm also going to explain some of the changes that I think that we might see to her plot. So if you like this, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe and like button. First off, I'm in the camp of people who actually enjoy Faile's character and story, but if she is going to be introduced in season 2, I'm not so sure that they are going to introduce her as a love interest for Perrin, and here's why. Perrin just accidentally murdered his wife in season 1. He needs time to grieve and work on himself, not to mention figuring out what's going on with the wolves. I think this will be a big part of his season 2 plot, so it seems unlikely that he's in any position to be pursuing another woman at this point in the story. But with the introduction of the Horn of Valere in season 1, it does make sense that they start introducing hunters for the Horn, and I think that's where Faile's story is going to come into play. And at New York Comic Con, when Marcus Rutherford was asked about Faile, he didn't seem to know who she was even. Rafe kind of laughed it off and said, "Oh, that's something for season 3, it's what we're working on." So with that in mind, if she does show up in season 2, I would definitely expect the two characters to not share any scenes together. I would expect her to be in her own little sphere, doing things off to the side as a hunter for the Horn before they even get to know one another. I didn't suspect Faile would be even in season 2, with Perrin having so much stuff on his plate, so this rumor is really fascinating for me. I'd actually love if she is introduced as more of a companion and friend for Perrin, and that romance is mostly left out until the end of season 3. So I'm going to talk about why, but I will mention that there will be spoilers for The Shadow Rising. So go ahead and leave now if you haven't read this far in the books, as I'm going to be talking about some pretty major spoilers here. So we know that the end of the Battle of the Two Rivers, that the relationship between Perrin and Faile becomes very serious. Instead of retreating, she brings the villagers of Devon Ride and turns the tide of battle. And I think it would be really cool that instead of them marrying afterwards, that this is the big moment that romantic feelings are solidified for Perrin. It would be a refreshing switch for his character to take if he himself does some deep inward retrospection and takes care of his feelings and grief, rather than a woman coming along and making him forget his past trauma. It's something that might update the story a little bit for 2023, and rather than relying on the trope of the woman coming in and fixing the broken man's heart, that Perrin is dealing with these feelings and working on himself. And I honestly wasn't a huge fan of the Layla death, but as we've seen from season 1, it wouldn't be out of the norm for the writers to explore men dealing with their emotions in a healthy way, similar to what they did with Lan after Steppen's death. I think that would leave time for Perrin and Faile's relationship to grow naturally and not feel forced, and it would also give the audience time to get to know her as a person and as an individual, and not just Perrin's love interest. Who is this woman? What does she stand for? Why is she as fierce as she is? What's her background? It doesn't have to be so attached to Perrin. Regardless if this happens or not, I think it's unlikely that the relationship is going to be exactly as it is in the books because of those big changes made early on. So let me know what you think. I want to hear your theories on what Perrin and Faile's relationship will look like in seasons 2 and 3. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.